instrumental in bringing the first PCs to over 900 aerospace engineers. With a strong software development background, Mark is able to quickly diagnose and solve issues that arise in all aspects of IT. He's known for being honest, reliable, and one of his strongest skills is that he follows through to get the task done in a professional manner. Please welcome Mark Gruber.
So today I want to talk about computers. Computers are everywhere. You can buy a computer in almost every store. But are all the computers the same? It's a rhetorical question, they're not. So you could buy a computer at Best Buy, you could buy it at Office Depot, Office Max, Staples, you could buy it at Walmart, you could buy it at Walgreens, at Publix. No, not really, not yet. So when you say, oh, my computer broke, I need a new computer, I'll just go buy a new one. Well, they're not all the same. And what happens over time is when you buy something today, it's good. But Microsoft and Adobe and QuickBooks and all these companies keep producing new software, and they add more and more features and more and more features and more and more features, and it fills up your computer, and all of a sudden you find your brand new computer is slow. And you wonder why. I just bought it. Well, your computer choice was good at the time. You probably didn't think about the future. You just bought something that was price effective at the time. And so when you look at a computer, you've got a case, you've got a keyboard, and you've got a rodent. This everyone knows. Okay, so what's the price? What's the difference between $4.99, $5.99, $6.99, $7.99? Well, you get a monitor. That's easy to figure out. Do I like the way it looks? Is it big enough? Bigger is better. I get a monitor, now I want 2, and now I want 3, now I want 4. So stack them this way, stack them that way, and that looks cool. Almost looks like a stock market trader. But what you don't know is that there's a power supply in there. You probably have seen this from the back. As a matter of fact, Ross, you see this little red button here? That was the problem with that computer. So that power supply allows the computer to breathe. It's a fan, it pulls the air in, cools the computer, and pushes the air out. And those wires in the back power the motherboard. So what's the motherboard? The motherboard is where the computer brain and all the components go in there. And if you've ever opened a computer, you've seen that thing in there. Well, not all motherboards are created equal. Now this is where we get into making a choice on what computer is going to serve my needs right now, and what computer will still be around for the next 5 years and be useful for me so that I don't have to throw it in the garbage or upgrade. So when you take a look at this, you see a lot of ports on the back, and some are older, some are newer, some managed with old technology. Everyone can recognize that as a monitor connection. And so all those things go into making a choice. Now what I'm doing is I'm saying, well, instead of just buying what's off the shelf that meets your pricing needs, maybe it's worthwhile figuring out what's going on, and something is $100 more, maybe it's worth it for $100 if it'll last you 3 more years. Inside the computer is a video card. Here we go to our VGA again. This is a DVI, this is an S-video. These are now obsolete. Some computers have this still, so you can attach an old monitor. All the new monitors go with HDMI or DisplayPort. So if you had a computer like that and you said, oh, I'm gonna get a new monitor, I really want one of those big fancy ones, a smart monitor, and I want all that, and then you try and plug it in, it won't work because it's using new technology and that's old. RAM memory chips, a good way to extend the life of your computer. Generally, I've seen people buying computers with 4 gig of RAM. It's the bare minimum. Microsoft Office, Windows, none of those things will run well with 4 gig. It says minimum is 2. But what's happening is you're asking a giant computer program to run inside of a closet. It has to run like this. So it has no elbow room to do what it has to do. And a computer program writes stuff out to the disk, gets stuff back, goes over here, goes over there. And if you put it constrained like this, it can never work properly. So please do not buy any computers with the minimum configuration. You've got to get at least 8, preferably 12, and even better, 16. And you won't find that at your store. 3 minutes. You won't find that at your corner grocery store, at the 7-Eleven. It needs to be configured properly by someone who knows what they're talking about. CPU, Central Processing Unit. Probably this is a term that most people don't know about. Intel's a big manufacturer, AMD is the other manufacturer. They produce CPUs by generation. The CPU is the brain of the whole computer, and it moves the information around back and forth. And the faster CPU is, the more powerful it is, the more quick your computer is going to be, and you'll be able to do more things with it. So there are i3s, there are i5s, there are i7s. Each one is a newer generation. Obviously a 7 is faster than a 5, and a 5 is faster than a 3. So when you're getting a computer, you want to get what I think there's an i8 that came out now. You want to get the latest and greatest. These run hot. That's why you need fans. If your fan breaks and your computer is still running, the computer will overheat and it will die a premature death. As well, you have fans, at least 3 on a computer. Do not block the fan's air exit. Do not put papers there. I go under many desks over the course of the week, and a lot of times the person puts papers on top of the tower or behind the tower or file folders all over the place. If that computer cannot breathe, it will die early or it can start a fire. Hamas would like that. Electricity. Obviously we need electricity. You've all seen this power cord. It will not work without electricity. Hard drives, that's where you store all your information. I've talked about this before. That's what it looks like from the outside. Generally, a good computer has 2 hard drives in there. If one fails, the other one takes over. They call that mirroring. So while you're working on one, the other one is secretly working in the background, making a copy. First one dies, second one takes over. It starts screaming and says one died, but you're not out of business, you're still running. When I configure a server for a client, such as Angela, there are 3 drives in there. They are in a RAID, redundant arrays. There are 3 drives and they're all working together. 2 of them could die, she would still be up and running. This is what I talked about last time, the cutaway of what the hard drive looks like. There are multiple platters and multiple read-write heads. You can see them all going in and out. What this does, it moves back and forth, trying to find information on the platter at the same time. Do not move your computer while it is running because you will crash that hard drive. So when you put it all together properly, this is what you get. A computer system that works. There you are, Tesla. And when you don't, you get someone waiting in front of their computer forever to get it done. So my ask today is businesses that are grinding away in old technology. If you know anyone who looks like that and talks about their computer like that, that would be a good referral for me. I'm Mark Gruber with Megnet Systems, leveraging technology to give your business an edge.